Let's be real, repotting your houseplants can feel like a major chore. But what if I told you it's one of the best things you can do for your green friends? It's not just about getting a new pot, it's about giving them a fresh start and a healthy home. So let's get into it.
First things first, how do you even know it's time? Well, believe it or not, your plant is probably trying to tell you. It's sending out all kinds of signals. The real question is, are you picking up what it's putting down? Let's figure out how to speak its language.
So let's decode those messages. In this first part, we're going to look at all the telltale signs that your plant is basically screaming for a new home.
And honestly, these signs are pretty hard to miss once you know what you're looking for. You might see roots literally making a break for it out of the drainage hole at the bottom, or maybe the whole plant is pushing itself up like it's trying to escape. If it's suddenly top-heavy and tipping over all the time, or you feel like you have to water it constantly, yep, those are all huge clues that it's way too crowded in there.
Okay, so you've played detective and figured out your plant needs a change. Awesome. But before we dive in and make a mess, a little prep work is going to make this whole process a breeze. Let's put together our repotting game plan.
First, let's just clear something up. When we say repotting, a lot of people think it means you have to get a bigger pot. Not true. Often, it's just about swapping out that old, tired soil for a fresh batch full of nutrients. So hey, if you love your current planter, you might be able to keep it.
You know, timing is pretty important here. A good rule of thumb for most of your houseplants is to plan on a refresh every 12 to 18 months. Now, if you've got a slow grower, it could be happy for a few years, so don't stress. But the absolute perfect time to repot? Spring. It's like giving your plant a power-up right before it starts its biggest growth spurt of the year.
Now, if you do need a bigger pot, listen up, because this is crucial. Don't go too big. For your smaller plants, the ones on your desk or shelves, just go up about 1, maybe 2 inches in diameter. For those bigger floor plants, 2 to 4 inches is plenty. Why? A pot that's way too big holds a ton of extra soil, which holds a ton of extra water, and that is a one-way ticket to root rot. You really can kill them with kindness.
And look, your toolkit is super simple. You need your plant, obviously, the new pot, some fresh potting mix, and that's basically it. You only need the lava rocks or gravel if, and only if, your new pot doesn't have a drainage hole. See? Nothing to it.
Okay, prep is done. Now for the really fun part, our step-by-step guide. It's officially time to get our hands dirty.
First, you've got to get the plant out of its old pot. The trick is to be gentle. Turn the pot on its side, give the bottom a few good taps, and it should slide right out. Next, take a look at the roots. You want to gently massage the root ball and untangle them a bit. If the roots are in a super tight, circling mess, that means it's root-bound. Don't be afraid to break them up and even give them a little haircut. Just snip off those really long, thin, stringy ones.
Now, this next step is a game changer. While you have the root ball out, go ahead and knock off about 1/3 of that old potting mix. You got to remember, that old soil is basically useless at this point. All the good stuff has been used up. The whole point of this is to get those roots in contact with fresh, nutrient-rich soil.
Okay, time to rebuild. Pour a layer of your new potting mix into the bottom of the new planter. Then, set your plant right on top. Make sure you get it centered. After that, just start adding more soil all around the plant until it feels nice and secure. But here's a pro tip. Don't pack the soil down too hard. The roots need oxygen to breathe and grow.
We are on the home stretch. A great repotting job doesn't end as soon as the plant is in the pot. Let's talk about the final, super important steps for aftercare.
And the most important final step is give it a really good watering. This does 2 things. Obviously, it gives the plant a much-needed drink, but it also helps all that new soil settle in nicely around the roots. It gets rid of any air pockets and helps your plant feel snug and secure in its new home.
Okay, and please do not forget this tip. Hold off on the fertilizer. I repeat, do not feed your plant right after you repot it. Its roots are really sensitive and a little shocked right now, and that fresh potting mix is already full of nutrients. Fertilizing now can actually burn the roots. Just give it a few weeks to settle in and get used to its new surroundings first.
And there you have it. You've just given your plant a new lease on life. See? It's a pretty simple process once you know the steps, and it really deepens that connection you have with your green buddies. So now that you're basically a repotting pro, the only question left is, what are you going to grow next?